Hello everyone on YouTube, Jimithestache here, and today I'm joined by a few friends. First off, I am joined here with a good friend of mine,
CountryFlyboy.
Yeah.
Hello everyone.
And on the other end, on Skype, we have another good friend of mine who you all might also recognize, known as...
TheWaterBoatman.
Yep. And today, we are talking about E3. The big game conference that happens every year that everybody goes crazy for.
The great nerd migration westward.
Hang on, let me double check this. Let me double check your research. Make sure that E3 actually means that.
Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Are you sure?
I hope so.
So we got a lot to talk about, but this video is dedicated to none other than Nintendo. The past couple of years, they've actually gone for a different route. They used to do a live conference like all the others, but here lately they've just been doing digital ones and not like actually going live on stage. But they're usually pretty darn funny, and I think this year's was no exception.
Oh, yeah.
Theirs was the best one, as far as comedy is concerned.
As far as presentation, I think I like theirs the best. It was very funny and very entertaining. For those of you that don't know, they started off by doing basically Muppet versions of Shigeru Miyamoto, Iwata, I forget his last name, but Iwata and
Iwata
Reggie.
is his last name.
Oh, sorry, Iwata is his last name. My bad. But yeah...
they turned in the Star Fox characters.
They did. They did.
Minus that stupid frog that everyone hates.
Oh, Slippy.
Whereas me, I was waiting for Slippy. I was kind of hoping that Reggie would turn into Slippy.
But yes, that was the first order of business. They talked about Star Fox Zero for the Wii U. They talked about how it was called Zero because they didn't want to make it... They didn't want to necessarily make it like a reboot. They didn't necessarily want to make it like a sequel. So they decided to call it Star Fox Zero.
Which is confusing as all hell.
That's Nintendo.
That's games in general.
I'm not confused by Marbles. Marbles is pretty self-explanatory.
Well, I'm a Resident Evil fan. I'm used to weird numbering.
Yeah, that's true.
I did like the trailer for it because it looked like they were going more... It looked like Star Fox 64 in more ways than one.
Right, yeah. And that's just it. Like, they didn't want to make it a reboot, but at the same time, I think it kind of is. Like, it's more of a return to form, I guess.
We're going to think of it as a reboot.
Yeah.
Okay, so they had this, they had a normal display of, like, your normal game camera up on the screen, so third person behind the aircraft.
Mm.
And then down on the gamepad, they had a cockpit view of the game, so the first person cockpit view. I'm not 100% on that because it's drawing my attention away. It's easier to just look at one. If you're going to do something like that, I would prefer, like, say, the radar or sensor map or whatever they call it in Star Fox on the gamepad. That would be more useful because I could quickly glance down and see if there's anyone on my 6. Not that Star Fox works that way, but...
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where I didn't really comprehend it. Like, it didn't really make a lot of sense to me, but I feel like if I were to play it, I might understand the mechanic a little bit better because it did seem kind of weird to me. But I think I would need to play it first.
Bobbing my head back between the two displays.
I think honestly that going with a radar function would be better. But in the same respect, why not set it to like... set your interior cockpit view there on the gamepad and kind of make it a little more VR. I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Another game that I'm kind of excited for is that they're porting Hyrule Warriors to the 3DS.
Yes.
I haven't played it on Wii U, but I kind of really wanted to, and we have a family Wii U. We don't actually have I don't have my own Wii U.
I don't have one.
So I don't know if I would really play it that much because it's out in the living room. But that's why I'm excited for the 3DS version because I kind of want to play it and I could just take it with me, which is really cool.
From what I've seen of Hyrule Warriors, it looks like a game that I would play if I needed to kill 30 minutes of just, they got nothing to do, like a video's rendering, so I got 30 minutes to kill. Let's destroy Gandalf again.
Yeah. Gandalf.
Or be Gandalf and destroy Link. Whichever one.
It's Ganon, by the way, not Gandalf.
Who's Gandalf then?
Gandalf is from Lord of the Rings, dude.
Oh. I'm sorry, I will.
I'm sorry, I
It's
have
your
to point
nerd
that one out.
card at the end of the video.
I will turn in my nerd license.
Oh my goodness, Gandalf. Gotta defeat the evil wizard Gandalf.
I'm sorry. There's so much nerd stuff in my brain. It's all jumbling together.
I mean, I get it. It does sound very similar, and they're both wizards, so... anyways. But yeah, that's cool. There wasn't a super ton that I was really excited about. There were a couple of Animal Crossings, but they weren't actual proper Animal Crossing games. So I don't know how to feel about that. I loved New Leaf. I have it on my 3DS, and I used to play it constantly. I don't play it nearly as much anymore, but I'm a pretty big Animal Crossing fan. But one of them is like it's like a mini game to me. Like I don't really understand.
Mario Party.
Well, no, not that one. I was talking about the Happy Home Designer. Happy Home Designer. It looks interesting, but it basically looks just kind of like a mini game, like something that should be in Animal Crossing, where you design people's houses and things.
Can I just point out, all those little animals creep me right the hell out. They got these smiles on their face. It's just scary. One of them has that blank, just stare like she will kill you in your sleep.
Oh geez, what's her name now? I played this so much, I just had a brain fart. The doggy.
The doggy.
Your secretary, Isabelle. Wow, I should have known that. Isabelle, your secretary. She's just so cute.
Katie is a terrorist.
Katie's a terrorist.
Yes. Isn't that the elephant?
I don't remember.
Apparently, I know enough about Animal Crossing to know that she does some suspicious things, including hiding packages away and asking you and other characters to find them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's a terrorist or a murderer.
Interesting. Yeah, there's so many villagers with so many different like personalities and stuff. It's crazy. Like that's the cool thing about that game is you have different random people move in and they all have their own personalities and it's all like kind of funny and silly. And then they also had like what you were talking about, CountryFlyboy, was Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, which is basically Animal Crossing Mario Party. It literally looks like kind of like old school Mario Party, actually. New school Mario Party has changed a lot, but this one actually looked kind of like old school Mario Party, which would be kind of fun, probably. But they didn't really show mini games though. Like in the trailer, I don't remember seeing mini games. It was just like stories.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like, today I watched TV with Tom Nook. He stole my money. No, just kidding. But but of course, one that's been people have been excited for a while. Yoshi Woolly World.
Yes, Woolly World, about the only game from them aside from Mario Maker, which we'll talk about at the end.
Yeah.
Only game that I'm really liking from Nintendo, just because Yoshi's my favorite character from Mario, because Yoshi's awesome.
Yoshi is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. It looks really cute. I mean, it looks like they've tried to pull like an epic yarn, like Kirby's Epic Yarn. That's basically kind of what it looks like.
That's kind of how I got. That's kind of the feel I got out of it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those adorable things. I actually play Epic Yarn with my girlfriend, and it's a good time. It's really fun. It's really colorful. It makes you feel good.
I also want to point out the Amiibos for Yoshi's Woolly World, as sick as I'm getting of Amiibos, they are adorable.
Well, they're actually plushies. They're proper plushies, which I think is cool.
Yes. But it's a sad thing when the thing going on the internet is that picture of the chick with the table full of the Yoshis, and that's probably the world supply of them. And the Yoshi Woolly World Mario, where you can turn Mario into a Yoshi-looking thing.
It looked kind of creepy.
It looked scary.
It looked scary.
It looked like something out of a nightmare.
Yeah, because you can. The whole point is you can use your Amiibos, like any Amiibo that you have, to make Yoshi look like that Amiibo. Like it's still a Yoshi model, but like it's painted over in that character.
I
And some of
wanna
them look pretty cool. Some of them look just terrifying.
A Link Yoshi would be scary.
Yeah.
Speaking of Link, I actually forgot. We kind of glossed over it. We went to Hyrule Warriors, but Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes was announced, which looked. It kind of looked like the last game, like assets from the last game, which was it A Link Between Worlds, and it was a mixture of that and what was it, the Four Swords?
I think so. Yeah.
It was like the multiplayer Zelda game where you played it like there was 4 different Links. It basically looked like that, except there were only 3 Links, and you had to work together, like jump on top of each other to solve puzzles.
Yeah, it looks interesting, but if it's a co-op thing, and I'm not big on co-op games.
Yeah.
Mostly because internet.
Well, it did say that you could play single player, but I wonder like how good that's going to be. Like, I wonder if the AI is really going to be good enough to.
Or worse yet, you have to control all 3 of them
At the same time.
Ugh.
And then a quick little thing here, a quick little blip on the radar. A new Metroid game that doesn't have anything to do with Samus, so it's like
None of the Metroid. No one's really the Metroid anymore. Because like, I saw on Reddit this morning of someone summing up the Metroid series right now, and it's throwing it in with Call of Duty, Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, and it's just going in ways that no one wants it to go.
Well, it also the only interesting thing that I gathered from that, which I never really played Metroid that much though, to be completely honest, so I don't really know too much about it. But the one thing that it did feature that I thought was cool as like maybe a downloadable like a DLC like game that you could just pay like $5 or $10 for and just have fun with was Blast Ball. And it was kind of like the soccer game where you use your blasters to like blast the ball into other people's goals. I actually watched them play that at the Nintendo World Championships as one of the games, and it looked properly fun. I mean, I feel like I would buy that. Like I would buy just that to just derp around and have fun with against other people online. I feel like it could be potentially fun, but it was packaged with this game, so I don't really know if I would care.
Well, I honestly, with that kind of mini game style game, you would almost want it in, I don't know, like a Mario Party.
Right.
But, or as like a mini game with a Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could always do that and then have different characters with different power-ups and all that.
Right.
But
I mean, like I said, I feel like it would be good as like a standalone DLC that you could just buy, like a mobile game. Buy it for like $5 and then just have fun with it. Because I mean, there's not that much.
That's not very simple for $5 though.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's why. Yeah, that's why they like included it, like tacked it onto this Metroid experience because it's such a base thing. Like, there's not that much to it. But I feel like it's fun. Like, it's fun enough to where if you sold it for like a cheap price by itself, then it'd just be fun to grab and pick up and play and waste some time on.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's like a lot of their games where it's just a time killer.
Another interesting thing that's worth talking about, at least, is Xenoblade Chronicles. I never played the original Xenoblade, but I heard that it was an amazing JRPG.
Which scares me.
Yeah.
Because I don't like turn-based combat, and traditionally JRPGs are turn-based.
Yeah, but that's kind of going out of that now with the graphics that we have and the engines that we have. The JRPGs are slowly, I think, turning away from turn-based.
Yeah, thankfully. The only place I can see turn-based combat sticking around is probably on JRPGs that are on mobiles.
Yeah.
That's the only place that makes sense.
Or Pokemon.
That's true.
Or Pokemon, yes.
Because Pokemon, that's kind of how the entire series has been.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm on the same page with CountryFlyboy. He kind of points out the same issue that I have. I don't like waiting.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna beat you up, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm not gonna sit there and kick your shin and then wait for you to kick my shin.
And then sit there with like a super fighting pose, like jumping back and forth, like yeah, I'm gonna get you.
My biggest problem was not the waiting. I could swallow that. It was the disconnect between the way the characters are in cutscene, like they're the ultra super mega badasses that just stomp over everything, and then in the fight they're just they're playing checkers essentially.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I don't really play all that much in like the Final Fantasy stuff. That's why, honestly, I liked the Kingdom Hearts way of doing
Yeah.
things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love Final Fantasy games. Like, I mean, not that I've played a lot of them. There's quite a few that I probably would like to go back and play because I never did. But Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 10 are like the ones that I played, and I really enjoyed them. And I mean, like, I feel like it has its place, like that kind of stuff. Like, I never really had that disconnect. But I do understand where you're coming from. Like, I do understand that that's an issue. I just like growing up playing Pokemon. I never really thought about it too much. I just always accepted the turn-based aspect of it.
Speaking of Pokemon, does anyone want to talk about Nintendo's Pokemon that is not Pokemon?
That's right. They came out there. I feel like it's been out in Japan for a while. I think I read somewhere.
Everything has been.
But they're releasing it for North America soon, and it looks kind of like a Pokemon like game. You collect monsters and you fight with them just like Pokemon.
Kinda.
And it's kind of adorable like Pokemon. Like,
It's not kind of Pokemon. It is Pokemon.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's Pokemon meets Ben 10.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that I'd be going after that, honestly.
Yeah, honestly,
I don't know. I mean, I like the idea because like it's trying to do Pokemon, but like kind of in a different way, like trying to make it different. I guess. Like, I mean, it's the same idea, but then it's not Pokemon. So, because Pokemon is pretty much a rehash every time. I mean, they do enough to make it just a little bit fresh and a little bit more exciting each time. So I always come back to it, but it's never. It's kind of like modern warfare games where like. It's a lot of the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah.
But I love it. I still do love it. Like, and that's why I guess I can understand people who love, all the Modern Warfare games. It's like, I still love Pokemon, and it does enough new and right for me to stay hooked. But, when you get right down to it, it's just still the same formula.
Right. It's kick each other's shins until...
It's cockfighting.
But hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say. So the day that Pokemon fans stop buying Pokemon games, I guess it's time to reevaluate what they're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you still got to maintain stuff.
Right. So moving on, they made the Mario RPG Paper Mario crossover.
I like this game for its name only. It had nothing going for it for me other than its name.
Oh yeah, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam Brothers.
I just love that. I am picturing a printer that refuses to work and using it to smash a Koopa.
No more Bowsers. No more.
But yeah, so the basic idea is it looks like it's a crossover between like the Super Mario, like the Superstar Saga like stuff, like and Paper Mario. And which I thought kind of followed a very similar like style, at least gameplay wise. So it should meld very well together. I always enjoyed like Superstar Saga for the GBA I loved it when I was a kid. I used to play the heck out of it. So it looks interesting.
We'll move on to the next Mario. But we'll skip over another Mario. There's a lot of Mario this time.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mario, but
the other Mario they announced was a Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, which is
whatever. It's
just
Mario
another
Tennis.
Mario Tennis. But they can turn into frickin' Gundams apparently.
Oh,
not Gundams, but they grow 10 times their size.
Right? Yeah, using the mushrooms and stuff.
That's
which is, to me, in a tennis game, that's not giving anyone else a chance.
Yeah. So we're gonna go on to the final one. I'm actually really excited for this one because I like the idea. It's kind of a Little Big Planet meets Mario, and that is Mario Maker.
Yes, Mario Maker is the only one I'm really looking forward to.
It looks really cool because essentially it's a Mario level editor.
Yes, what Mario has needed for years.
Yeah, and it's cool because you can switch between like styles. So that's what's really cool. Like you can make all this stuff. Like all the stuff is universal from the different styles. So you could put a warp pipe down and then set the style to like the original Super Mario Brothers, and it'll look like it's in the Super Mario Brothers world. But you can also set it to like Super Mario World, and it'll look like it came from Super Mario World. And if you could do new Super Mario Brothers, and it'll look like it comes from New Super Mario Brothers. But all of the level design that you make will stay intact, and it'll just change looks depending on how you want it to look, which I think is fantastic. And even things that came out in newer games that wouldn't have old sprites, they actually went back and reimagined them to look like how they would have looked like in, say, Super Mario Brothers, the original, which is really cool.
You can also reskin the playable character to other characters from other games, including the Wii Fit trainer.
Oh,
which
yeah.
was funny.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, if you put the amiibos down for, like, different characters, they would turn into those characters in Mario Maker.
Wii Fit trainer stomping on a Koopa.
I think it'd be funny if they had, if they took the same method as with that Yoshi game.
Yeah.
Reskin Mario. You just see, like, a Wii Fit trainer colored Mario with a big old mustache.
Oh, that would kill the Wii Fit trainer.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
She would pop out of the background and smash Mario. How dare you make me look like that?
The one thing I liked about it is that this game is super customizable. So, like, I've seen a lot of levels, like, they've shown off. They actually played it, again, at the Nintendo World Championships. That was another game that they played. Like, somebody made some levels from Nintendo, and then they had to play through them. And it was really cool because you could kind of play dirty, honestly, because, you could take, like, you could take question mark blocks, and you could put mushrooms and fire flowers and things like that in there, but you could also put, like, a hammerhead bro in there. Or hammerhead bro, hammer bro.
Hammerhead bro.
Hammerhead bro.
That's a new Mario character, guys.
Hammerhead bro.
You heard it here
Probably
first.
never heard of it.
Yeah. But you could get the Hammer Bros to pop out, or you could get, like, a death mushroom, or, like, things like that. So, like, you'd always have to be on your toes, because what you think about about, like, Mario, like, the way Mario works could be different. Like, you could have enemies stacked on top of each other. Like, that's the one thing they showed off, like, a whole bunch of enemies stacked on top of each other, and then, like, a bullet bill shooter on top of all of that.
Or, if I have my way, you won't be playing as Mario, you'll be playing as Bowser, and you got to save Princess Peach from Mario, because role reversal. Or, better yet, if I want to play in with the storyline, be Bowser trying to kidnap Princess Peach this time.
There you go.
I still think I'll have Bowser try to save Princess Peach from Mario.
Sorry, Bowser. Peach is in another castle. I can't do it. Woohoo! I can't do it.
Or just make Mario into, like, a basically just Toad.
Yeah.
Just, like, have a whole lot of them with different color schemes, but it's basically the same thing anyway.
I hate that guy.
That's clipping. I can't do his voice.
Hey! Oh, God.
Sorry, people. Rest in peace, headphone users.
I'm a headphone user. If they're smart like me, they'll turn the volume down anyway.
Well,
but maybe they're not smart like you. Maybe they're dumb like me.
Or we be really, really dirty, like that alarm clock I heard once. That no matter, you had your volume set to 0, and it was still loud enough to wake up the entire county.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's crazy. So, I think that's about it. I think we've covered all we need to cover. There's a couple of other things that I feel like we didn't talk about from the thing, but that's fine. We covered all of the main bases, anything that I cared to talk about, really. So, in closing, what did you guys think? What was your guys' overall opinion on Nintendo's conference?
Awesome, because Muppets, I think that they're the ones that still stick true to what games are supposed to be about, and that's have fun, and they always have the most fun of every conference at E3. And I really like the Muppets because Muppets.
Of course.
I'd have to agree with CountryFlyboy on this one again. They really do hit home when it comes to the essence of what games are. They don't go after, just an artsy style for the sake of being artsy. They go after, they hit to really what we're looking for in classic games anyway. Because you don't have just your bland first person shooters. It's different. It's different when it's Nintendo, and I like that their focus is very much on family gaming and not just how many dead prostitutes can we fit on the screen at one time?
Right, yeah. I mean, that's just it. Like, yeah, again, like, yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. Nintendo is, like, that's the thing, too. Nintendo's never been about the graphics. Nintendo's never been about, like,
the hookers.
Well, yeah, obviously. But, like, they've never been on par with PlayStation 4 and, like, or PlayStation and Xbox. But at the same time, they don't need to be, because they're the family-friendly console. PlayStation and Xbox have their things, but Nintendo, they're about innovation. They're about like what's fun instead of like how many graphics can we pack in this little box. You know, they're about how can we make this fun and innovative and different.
Yep.
That's pretty much Nintendo.
Yeah. In closing, I think that's about it. So tune in next time, folks, and we got some more E3 covered. We're going to cover all of the main conferences from E3 and tell you what we thought about them, what we liked, what we didn't like, and all that jazz. So please stay tuned for more videos, and like, comment, subscribe, as they say in the YouTube world. And I guess we'll all throw our beautiful voices at you later.
Of course.
Remember to share this video with your friends, and then you can draw us like one of your fancy French girls.
Oh, yeah. Draw us like one of your fancy French girls. And don't forget...